Hi everybody, it's Chief Instructor Brett and welcome to the advanced kicking video. This is for senior members up to black belt. It's going to cover the kicks that we would expect of particularly blue belts and brown belts, but also we'll be covering back kick, which is one that we expect you 6th Cup to learn. Black belts, this is also a fantastic resource for you to go through some of the kicks that we expect you to know. Alright, we're going to start with a warm-up. We'll start by jogging. So in this video, I'm going to do a slightly different type of warm-up. We'll just do a little bit of jogging first to get our heart rate up. Then we're going to do just a whole bunch of dynamic flexibility raises, just to make sure that we're ready for all the big kicks that I want you to do. So it's really important, particularly if it's cold, but even when the weather's warmer, that you have a good warm-up before you start pushing your body to the limits, either by kicking high or kicking fast and hard. You've really got to get your heart rate up, and then also just do a little bit of work through the joints and the muscles, either by squats, sit-ups, push-ups, raises. So just about 20 more seconds of jogging. And relax. Okay, start with your right leg back. We're just going to do straight leg raises. Go. So as you do each raise, you should feel them just becoming a little bit easier and you're going a little bit higher. Change legs. Okay, relax. Bring your elbows up. I'm just going to do knee raises to the side. Continuously, right leg. So you're just opening your hip up and driving your knee straight up towards your ear. Change sides. So you should feel a little bit of a twist as you open your hip. So you feel a bit of a twist in the back. Because we're trying to stay more or less front on. Good. Relax there. Straighten your right leg. Now we're going to do side leg raises. And change legs. And relax. Pick up your right knee, have it in turning kick preparation position, and just pulse the knee up and down. Change legs. And the final, we're going to do squat front kicks. So squat down, front kick right, and then left. And relax. Good. Should be nice and warm now. We're ready to go through some kicks. The first kick we're going to do is back kick. So we're starting our guard. When we do a back kick, the first move is to rotate. And we rotate and we sort of pivot on that front ball of the foot. We pivot and we turn and we look over our shoulder. So the back foot turns on the ground but just to allow the positioning. I want you to focus the pivot being on that front foot. Your heel will come up, you'll turn and look over your shoulder. Then we move into the back kick. So it's a two-step process, but we try and make it as smooth as possible. So if we break it down though, we pivot and look, that's step one. Then we drive and do our back kick, that's two. Okay, so pivot, look, and then it's a straight line kick. It's important that you pivot first before you push off and bring the knee through to the kick. I don't want you to pick your leg up and then try and pivot, because you'll lose balance and you'll spin in a circle. Back kick is a straight line kick. So again, a little bit faster, pivot, look, kick, and guard. From side on, you can see that when I turn here and look, my left heel is up. As I kick, the heel comes down hard on the floor, and I push through. So your foot ends up facing in the opposite direction than when you started, exactly the same as a side kick. Okay, the only other thing I want you to remember now when you do a back kick is you've got to get your knee up nice and high. So as you bring your knee through for the kick, get your knee up higher than belt high as it comes through in the kick. Don't scoop it through low. We don't want scooping through like this, which is what I call a donkey kick. So knee nice and high. Okay, I want you to practice your back kicks now, maybe about 5 on each leg for 30 seconds. Go. Now we're going to do jumping back kick. The basic movement pattern is very similar to a back kick. We start from a guard. When we do a back kick, we turn narrow, we kick in a straight line, and we finish in a guarding if we're moving forwards. So it's a straight line kick. Jumping back kick, we jump, straight line, and try and finish more or less this way, not spinning around. So if we break the kick down, start from the feet. We want both the feet to leave the ground at the same time. I want you to feel like both the feet come up, both the feet land. One thing is though, that the feet won't land at the same time. So your front leg will jump, and then this leg will be kicking, so this leg will land. But you still finish in this position. I start in this position, and I finish in this position. That's the movement that we want. So it's not a squat jump, but we do want that motion where both feet leave the ground at the same time. So then what we do is, because we're jumping a little bit forwards, both feet leave the ground, we jump forwards, and then we immediately lift our kicking knee up into that chamber, and we turn and look over our shoulder quickly, and then we can throw the kick. So when I said we had to turn and look quickly, it's important that we find something to look at. So we find something, our target, whether it be a paddle or a training partner, or if you're just kicking into the air, try and find a spot on the wall, find it, jump, kick, and come round. Okay? It's a very dynamic kick. It's also a very powerful kick. When you're going for your first degree black belt, you obviously need to break a board with this. So it's important that you get enough power. When we land with our jumping back kick, like I said earlier, you are going to land just on the one leg. So it's important that you get the spin right and come round so that this leg doesn't catch and you don't hurt your knee. Okay, so play with the landing, but more importantly, I want you to kick straight. I really want you to try and get your leg going straight in a line towards the target. One drill to try and do is to leave your leg out at the end of the kick. So you jump, kick, leave it out, and then put it down in the guarding. And that will help teach you to get in that straight line. That is the jumping back kick. I want you to practice now for 30 seconds, just 30 seconds. Go. The next kick is spinning heel kick. Very important with a spinning heel kick as you working up towards black belt that you get it right, because for adults, when you are grading for your first degree black belt, you need to break a board with a spinning heel kick. And if you don't do it correctly, it's not going to break, and also you can hurt your foot. So I'll start off straight away by saying when we do the spinning heel kick, we pull our toes back tight, which means we strengthen the back of the heel, and that's the part that's hitting. It's this motion here. So we don't have a floppy foot and hit like this, and we don't have a bent leg. We hit with a straight leg and a very tight foot position. Your foot position should feel like a side kick or a turning kick, where you pull your toes back towards you. So even though we want speed in this kick, we have to learn to keep that leg very straight, stiff, and really pull the toes back, which means we're strong through the ankle as well. So we start in back stance. The first motion is we commence the spin. Now it's different to back kick. When we do a back kick, we do a very tight, quick spin, where we immediately turn our head and look straight back in the same direction. So we essentially turn our head 360 degrees and we pivot our body and we kick. With the spinning heel kick, we start to spin, but we're looking to spin all the way around in a circle, not do like a U-turn. So we start to spin this way, and you'll see my leg comes out to the side to prepare. I don't want my leg to come out behind me, but I want my leg to come out to the side on its way up. So then when it gets to the beginning of this wedge, it can come across flat. So whatever height we're trying to kick, we want from about here to here, the foot to be travelling flat. So the foot comes up from here, comes up, levels out, comes across, and comes down again. So obviously, because it's coming from the ground, it's got to come up a fair way before it's a kicking height. So we commence the spin with our shoulders, the leg comes up to the height we want, comes through, and then it comes back down and around to where we started. So we're always looking to spin and finish where we started when we are doing a spinning heel kick just by itself. If you choose to do it in sparring or in combos and you want to put your foot somewhere else, you do that. But the basic structure of the kick, spin and come back to where it started. So we're relaxed when we spin, we're relaxed, otherwise we're not going to move fast, but we have to be strong in this phase. And this phase here, it's like we are just picking up our leg and ripping it through using our butt and our torso. So if you engage your core muscles, you can actually just sweep your leg across. And that's the motion that you want during the spinning heel to increase the power. So the spin gives us the speed and momentum of the kick, and then we just use that little bit of core muscles and our butt muscles to really almost slice through and break through that target. Okay? So spinning heel, start the spin this way. Sometimes I see students bring their arms out here so they can get the spin. I don't want you to do that, because you have to learn to spin this way. So we just spin and kick and come back. Now the foot on the ground, if you're spinning properly, it will just naturally do what it needs to do. What actually happens for most people is that you pivot on the ball of the foot for part of the spin, then you pivot a little bit on the heel, and then you pivot the last bit on the ball of the foot again. It's weird when you say it like that, but when you actually think about what your foot's doing and you break it down, that's kind of what happens. But what I want you to do is forget about the foot on the ground. If you spin everything else correctly, the foot, and allow the foot to move, it will come back to where it needs to be. Okay, I want you to practice spinning heel kick now for 30 seconds. If you get dizzy doing too many kicks in a row, do a couple with the right, couple with the left, and keep changing. Go. We're now going to go through a few kicking combinations that I would expect senior members to be able to perform. So it's a good idea if you practice these regularly to make sure that your body is flowing. When you do combinations, one of the really important things is to be able to put 2, 3, 4 kicks together in a nice flow. There's no point in just having a nice front kick and then having to guard formally to do a nice side kick. You have to be able to flow between the two, but still with correct technique. So that's what combinations are all about. Now these combinations will incorporate the more advanced kicks that we did at the beginning of this video. They'll also include front kick, side kick, inward crescent kick and outward crescent kick, which are kicks that you would already know, I presume. Otherwise, go and check out those videos and make sure you understand how to do those kicks. Okay, so the first combination we're going to do is side kick, turning kick, back kick, front kick. So I'm going to go right back here. My right leg is going to be behind. We're just going to move forwards doing these kicks. So right leg, side kick, left leg, turning kick, right leg, back kick, left leg, front kick, and guard. Alright? So the important thing with this is that you get the different hip positions, because each kick has a different hip position. You start with the side kick where you just prepare by coming straight through with the knee and getting your hip nice and side on. And as soon as you've done that, you have to bring your turning kick straight out to the side. So you have to open up your hips and get your knee out at that 45-degree angle, but have enough momentum so that the turning kick comes all the way around. So that's important, and for some people that's a very tricky transition. So when we do the side kick, we close the hip off. Then as you step, you open the hip up for your turning kick. Then from here, we step down, and if you'll notice from earlier in the video, halfway through the back kick, this is my position. So when I step down, I've got the ball of the foot on the ground, the heel up, I'm turning, so then I look over my shoulder, come through with the back kick. Now I want to execute my back kick straight and follow through straight, so that then I just square up the hips and shoulders for the front kick. So you'll see that combinations are much easier if your technique, your preparation and your follow through are correct. If you get one or more of those things wrong, it makes combinations very difficult, usually slower and more cumbersome. Okay, so the whole combination put together: side kick, turning kick, back kick, front kick, guard. Okay, 4 kicks. Practice this for 1 minute. And then get yourself a drink. Make sure you get a drink. So practice for 45 seconds, grab a drink. Go. The next combination is going to be a turning kick, spinning heel kick, turning kick, spinning heel kick. 4 kicks. So you'll do the turning kick with the right leg, step down, spinning heel with the left and follow through all the way back. And then our left leg is behind, left leg turning kick, right leg spinning heel kick. Now as I said with the first combination that you did, if you execute these kicks with the correct technique and the correct follow through, it will all flow. So there's not too much more to be said. I'll start with my right leg back. So I do my turning kick, my knee comes out wide, 45 degrees. Then I kick, recoil, step straight down, spin heel, I come back all the way, it's reached a back stance position, so it's easy for the left turning kick, step, spin all the way back and guard. So turning kick, spinning heel, and then you'll do turning kick with the other leg and spinning heel. I want you to practice that combination for 1 minute. Go. Okay, we're on to our second last combination of kicks. With this time we're going to do inward crescent kick, touch on the ground, outward crescent kick, and then a spinning heel kick. Now, the inward and outward crescent kick, as I said earlier in this video, I'm not going to go through in detail because they're more basic kicks and you know how to do them. Adding them into a combination like this is really good because number one, it tests whether you're doing that kick correctly. Because if you're not doing your outward crescent kick particularly correctly, you won't naturally bring your leg back to this position where it needs to be for that spinning heel. So it's important you get the right movements. The other thing is that with the inward and outward crescent kick, our shoulders and hips are square on to the front. Okay, so you're keeping your body more upright. Then with the spinning heel, you change to that hip being completely side on as it comes through. So the hip position, the body position, completely different, and you have to be able to transition between the two. So I'm going to have my right leg behind, I do my inward crescent kick, I follow through, but then I bring it down just in front of my body here. I'm not going to bring it back and put it behind, I just swing it through and put it here, almost like I'm ready to push off in this direction. Then I bring my knee up through, but I spin back the other way, and so I end up back in this back stance position, and I keep the momentum going, and I do my spinning heel kick coming all the way through. So done a little bit faster, inward crescent, outward crescent, spinning heel, and back to guarding. Okay, it should feel like a really nice combo. It's fun to do, it's fast, and make sure if you're getting your hips and shoulders in the right place, make sure that you're doing that, and it'll be really good for your technique as well. Good, I want you to practice that for 1 minute. The final combination is quite tricky, and I would really only expect brown belts who are, maybe even first cut to be able to do this well. I do encourage blue belts, even green belts, to give it a go if you wish, but brown belts, I really want you to be able to get the right structure and the right shape on this so that you're working towards this as an advanced combo that you'll be able to sort of bring out in your sparring and in your technique as you get closer to black belt. Okay, it's going to be a spinning heel kick, side kick, and then a jumping back kick. So the spinning heel and the side kick will be with the same leg. So my right leg's behind, I'm going to do a spin, heel kick, come back into this guarding position, side kick, and then come down here, and then jump, back kick with the left. So it's a right leg for the first two kicks, and then left, or it's a left leg for the first two kicks, then the right. So again, my right leg's behind, spinning heel kick, touch, side kick, jumping back kick. I'll do it with the other leg. Left leg behind, spinning heel kick, side kick, jumping back kick. Alright, it's quite dynamic and it obviously involves a jump. So this one I want you to practice for 1.5 minutes, but have a few seconds breather between each one. If you get too tired when you're working on a specific combo, trying to get your technique right, it actually might lead to some bad habits. So make sure you're not too exhausted when you're trying to practice one particular move and get it right. As I said, that is the most advanced combo that you're going to do. So after your practice, we'll come back, we'll grab another quick drink, and then we'll do some stretching to finish. Okay, well done. Now we're going to finish with some stretching. I'm going to focus the stretches today, particularly on the muscles that we used. Generally when we do Taekwondo, we're using a similar set of muscles on the legs, but we'll just do a little bit of focus today and I'll explain why we're doing them. The first stretch we're going to do is just bend our knee, grab our ankle and pull our foot up to our backside. So obviously when we do kicks, we use those quadricep muscles, but we also did some jumping today, and so when you do jumping, you really work those quadricep muscles. So we're just going to stretch out the front there. You're trying to pull your knee back, so I'm going to do it side on. You're trying to pull your knee back behind the line of your other knee, or at least level with the line of the other knee. And then you try and pull your shoulder back as well. And relax. Bring that round to the front. Just pull your knee up nice and high to your chest, or as high as you can. Then swap arms and grab your ankle again and pull your knee out to the side like a turning kick. Try and keep your knee as high as you can. You pull your foot back behind you so to where your knee is almost side on. And then you work on trying to get your body upright as well. The balance can go, and you just try and recover that if you can. Put the foot down if you have to. Relax. Good. Change legs. Pick up your ankle, pull it up into your quadricep stretch. So pull the knee back, pull the shoulder back. Nice and strong. Good, bring the knee up in front, pull it up to the chest, then pull it out to the side, hold your ankle again, get your foot in that high turning kick position, body upright, really try and stretch up, stretch back and bring your body up as well. And relax. Good, now I'm going to go down into our lunge. Which leg will I do? I'm going to do this way. So my right leg's in front, left knee. We're just going to start with our basic lunge. So we just push our hips forwards. And lean back, pull the shoulders up a little bit, trying to stretch through those hip flexors. Now we use the hip flexors in preparation for side kicks, turning kicks, front kicks, somewhat in back kicks. They're also used a lot when we jump. So even if this isn't just about flexibility, you want to try and relax your muscles after a workout, which means you'll be able to back up quicker. Good, from there, just come out of the deep lunge, just into a normal lunge. I want you to lean forward and put that hand down, lift the back leg up, grab your foot with the opposite hand. So I've grabbed my left foot with my right hand, and then pull that foot up towards the backside, as far as it'll go, so we get a stretch right through the quadricep. Then push forward into that lunge, so we're now moving that stretch higher on the quadricep into the hip flexor. Remember to keep breathing. And relax. Good, from there, I'm just going to put that leg behind, come up, and bring the other leg back into our calf stretch. So we're in this position here. We're leaning forwards with our legs straight and our back heels almost on the floor or on the floor, but just about wanting to come off. And then we're just pushing down so that we're stretching through the top of the calf muscle and the back of the knee. From there, if you want, you can sort of walk, just straightening one leg at a time, really work through that back of the leg. So we use our calves a lot when we jump, but just in general when we're doing Taekwondo, our calves are always engaged. Really stretch it out and relax. opposite lunge now. So I've got my left leg in front and my right leg behind in the lunge. Start with our basic. Push the hips forwards. Shoulders back, so you're up nice and upright. Keep breathing. Good, just relax into your normal lunge. Put your right hand down, lift the left foot up. Whoa. Yep, I got it. And then pull that foot up to your backside as high as you can, and then push forward into that lunge. Now if your legs are like mine, this will hurt a lot. This is quite an intense stretch. It's good fun. So when it's an intense stretch, the important thing is that you hold it. Don't sort of relax out of it. Just keep the tension on and relax your breathing. And relax. Good. Final stretch. We're going to do our hamstrings. So we're going to stand just with our feet shoulder width apart. I'll be side on. So we're just going to put our hands on our thighs. We're just going to stretch our hands down. And we're going to see how far they get. If your hands get to your shins or your ankles, and that's as far as you can go, I want you to hold it there. Keep the tension on your hands pushing down and into your leg, so your body's not going to move. Then relax your breathing, and when you can, sink your hands further. If your hands have gone all the way to the floor, then just keep the tension by pushing your hands into the floor. If you can go further than that, what I want you to do is to put your hands underneath your toes and just hold them there. And then you kind of lever your arms to pull your chest down. Now wherever your hands are now, I want you to bend your knees, keep the hands where they are, and straighten them up. Bend the knees again. Now try and make your hands go a bit further. So I'm going to try and get my wrists underneath my big toes now, with my knees bent, and then straighten up. Straighten those legs. And relax the knees, bend the knees, relax the hands. Keep the knees bent. Come up slowly. Stand up. Give your arms and your legs a shake. Just twist your body a little bit. Shoulders forwards, shoulders back. You should feel warm, flexible, and you should feel like you've had a nice workout. I hope you've worked hard on your kicks and you can find some improvement. Keep practicing. Well done.